Okay, so now we have our country codes imported into our spreadsheet. We need to now do something with that. Okay, so let's just remind ourselves we need to find out the country that relates to a particular code, and we need to get the spreadsheet to automatically output a particular value, a particular country from this table here, and we'll do that in the cells going down here. So the function that we need is a VLOOKUP function. It stands for vertical lookup. So as always, we type in equals VLOOKUP, open our brackets, and again it displays the structure for our function. So it's saying the lookup value. So what is the lookup value that we want? Well, it's the code here. So just highlight that particular cell, I'll click on that particular cell, and then it says to type in a comma, and then that turns the table array into bold. So it's looking for the table array. Now the table array is our country codes here. Remember not to click anything else, because that will send your function into a bit of a mess. So make sure that when you are doing this, you highlight from cells A2 across to B2 and all the way down to the bottom of the table. That's our table array. So you can see it says equals VLOOKUP, C8, which is our lookup value, and our table array, which says country codes, which is this tab here, A2 all the way down to B33. If I put in a comma there, it then says the column index number. What this is referring to is it's saying which column would you like to output? Which value would you like to output? And in this case it's column 2, because we want the actual country to be the output. So all we do there is type in 2, and then I'm going to ignore the next one, which is range lookup. We don't need that one. All I need to do now is to close that and hit enter. The first one's worked. Now if I autofill that down to the bottom, it will work to a certain degree. There are some errors with that, and what I'd like you to do now is to give you the opportunity to try and work out why those errors are occurring. And it's because of something. It's something that we've touched on already, and I'll give you some time to try and work that out. So if you just like to pause it now. Okay, those bright sparks out there will have correctly worked out. It's something to do with cell referencing. What's happening, if I just move down, you can see that they're all relative reference. C8, C9, C15, they're all relative referencing. Another issue here is that I've still got my filter on, so I need to do the select all and click OK. Yeah. Make sure that that is filtered down. So going back to the problem, you can see cells C8 should change to C9, C10. We want that to scroll down, we want that to change, we want that to be relative referencing. But we don't want our table array over here to change, we want that to be an absolute reference. So if you see at the bottom, it becomes, our table array becomes A74 to B105. Now if I look at that, A74 is down here to B105. There's nothing in there. Just to re-emphasize that, on the second one down it becomes A3 to B34. Now A3 misses out Australia and includes a blank space. So what we need to do is make that a an absolute reference. So I'm going to surround that with dollar signs. Hit enter, and I'm going to use the autofill again. And this should hopefully work now. Yeah, it works. Just to demonstrate that, the first cell reference is relative, so that doesn't change. That changes, but the second cell referencing over here stays static. It's absolute.